Welcome back to another lesson. Hope you've been able to follow along so far. In this lesson, we're going to introduce list data types. The most basic data structure in Python is the sequence. A sequence is composed of elements. Each element has an index that indicates its position. The first element would have an index of 0. The second has an index of 1. The third, an index of 2. So on and so forth. This index represents the location, the position of an element. The most common sequence types in Python are lists and tuples. For now, we'll just focus on lists. Lists are always written in square brackets. If I want to declare a list of names, I would simply write names is equal to John, Jane, and Joe. John would have an index of 0, Jane would have an index of 1, and Joe an index of 2. How do I prove this? Well, I can access specific elements inside of this list based on its index. So, let's say I want to access the element at index 0. This would simply be names, open up brackets, and we want the element at index 0. We're going to print this and run the cell. As expected, the output gives John. At index 1, write the number 1, and as you've guessed it, we would get Jane. So on and so forth. Since we're able to look up individual elements based on their index, we can claim that this list is ordered. Overall, a list holds data. It holds elements, and all these elements are separated by commas, such that an element is accessed according to its index, since this is an ordered list. If you try to access an index that's beyond the range of your list, for example, an index of 100, when all we have are 3 elements, Python will yell at us, telling us that the index is out of range. Now it's important to note that lists don't have to contain a single data type. It can contain all of strings, floats, integers, and booleans at the same time. For example, set random variable equal to true, false, hello, 1, and 1.2, containing all of the data types we've talked about so far, and this would compile no problem. Just like strings, you can also get the length of a list. This list has 5 elements, so if we print length of a random variable, as expected, it outputs a length of 5. Very often, the length of a list is used to access the last element of a list. How would I do this? First, let's set length. Or you know what? Let's do it on the same cell. Let's set length is equal to length of a random variable. Would I then simply write print random variable and we'll access the index at the length like so. Try to run this. This is not the error I was expecting, and that's because we have to run this cell first. And then if I run this cell again, it should recognize the variable length. And it tells us that the index is out of range. Why? Well, think about it. The length of the list is 5. The first element has index 0, second 1, third 2, fourth 3, and fifth element has an index of 4. So what can we conclude? The index of an element corresponds to the position of the element in the list minus 1. So we can retrieve the last element by reducing the index by 1. 5 minus 1 gives us 4, which corresponds to the last index in the list, outputting the desired result, 1.2, the last element. Alternatively, we can index from the end of the array by using negative values, where -1 represents the last element. Let's try it out. And indeed, we still get that result. Much easier. -2 is the second to last element, which is 1, and indeed that's what's outputted. You can try it for -3, and we get hello. That's pretty much it for lists. If you come from another programming language, you'll find them very similar to arrays. In the next video, we'll look at how we can pull more than one value from a list.